Hello and welcome back to the channel. So this video is part of the learning knife catch, or how to learn knife catch, or my journey into learning knife catch. Okay, now this is gonna be an explanation video of the steps I am going to take, or I am going to follow. Full disclosure, these are not my original ideas. Okay, I just group them slightly differently. Okay, the original ideas and the video that everybody should, or actually must watch, who wants to get into knife catch, is Matt's video on how to learn knife catch, which is gonna be in the description, the link. Okay, that's my Bible. Okay, and air quote Bible, the video I am going to follow, or I am following. Now, so first we're going to have a quick overview, rundown, step by step, what I'm going to do, or the steps to follow. The first is actually a three things kind of together or dependent on each other. You need to figure out a knife that you're going to use, you need to figure out your method you're going to use, and you're going to need to figure out your distance you are going to use. I will explain in detail in a minute. Okay, so that's the first thing. It's three things dependent on each other. Okay, distance, knife, method. The second thing, that's two things depending on each other, kind of, your stance and your natural aim area on the target. Okay, now up to this point, this is what I call the foundation things. Okay, this is not how it's been described before, this is my idea, this is the breakdown, this is foundation, these are the must. Without that, don't even start thinking about knife catch. You need to get these sorted first. Then we come to the exercises. First, you're going to be able to have to work on your toss, which is your offhand throw. Then put together the toss and the throw in separate timing, but align them, start to align the two. Then you're working on timing between the toss and the throw. And last, the timing, putting everything together and have a correct timing. And if everything comes together nicely, you should have a beautiful knife catch, which is basically catching or pinning an object to the target with your throwing knife. So, in this video, I'm going to detail the ideas of the foundation. Okay, now, in my opinion, if you're a beginner, very beginner, get your throwing sorted first. Okay, advanced beginners or intermediate throwers, that's when you start going to think about knife catch, and I'll explain in a minute why. Okay, because first three things, which is one, method, knife, distance. Okay, so you have to select a knife that you're comfortable with it already. So already have to be comfortable with the knife. You have to select a method to fit the knife. The method can be full spin, no spin, half spin, sidearm, underarm, doesn't matter. Remember, for learning purposes, you stick with one method, the same knife, and the same distance. Now, I should have started with the first of all, or the most important, okay, is making everything repeatable, easily repeatable, uniform, easily repeatable, or any of those, let's do air quote buzzwords. Okay, consistent. Consistency is the key to make it easy for yourself for learning. Now, so a knife that you're already comfortable with, and if you're going to select, full spin throwing, select a distance where you don't have to manipulate the knife too much. What comes naturally to you to make one full rotation. Or if you do no spin knife throwing, again, a distance that comes naturally because you're really well versed. I think 2 meters is too short for allowing the arc for the toss, but like my distance going to be about 3.2 3.3 meter because I practice a lot from that distance. That's gonna be mine. Okay, now the knife is a knife that you're really comfortable with, and you have to think about the tip angle of the knife, because if you want to get into ring catch, how I'm going to show this, okay, I have to change over. So if you're going to do ring catch, as you get going down smaller and smaller on the rings, if it doesn't fit onto the tip of the knife, then you're not going to be able to catch it. Okay, so if you get into ring catch, you need to find a shallow tip knife. Also, this is not going to be an awesome ring catch knife, because if it's under rotated, the ring can slide off it. Okay, so you want a little bit of width in the handle part, but a very shallow tip for ring catch purposes. Okay, now this is the creation I am going to use for aluminum catch. Okay, it's very sharp or pointy, very shallow on the point. It's got reasonable weight on it. It's about 200 grams and about 9-inch long. Okay, and yes, it is slightly handle heavy, but I am relatively happy with this. Okay, so that's your first 3 things. Then the 2 thing is your stance and your natural target area. Okay, now the stance, again, make it uniform, make something or choose something or develop something that is kind of natural, it fits in with your throwing. So if you have to force something, this is not the time to relearn your throwing. Okay, so this is the time when you kind of already know, already do, just put that into practice. Okay, now most people would recommend not to step when you're learning to knife catch. Okay, because a step adds an extra variation, extra variable. But if you must step, then you have to make that very, very consistent. Okay, now next is your natural target area. Now I made a mistake that I set up my camera far away, but I'm just going to run down to the target and point. So my natural target area is this area here. Okay, what it means a natural target area, if I just stand there and throw, this is the place where my knives or implements likely to end up. Okay, now what I done, because that's started getting worn out, I actually moved onto this area, which just one little bit over, same height. Okay, all I had to do, and I practiced this, adjust this just a few degrees. So I just shifted my body position. Okay, so this is how I used to throw, and then all I done is I just shifted my body position very slightly, a couple of degrees to the right, and that gets me about 4 or 5 times out of 10 in the orange square, and about 6 or 7 times out of 10 into the whole area. So just to prove me wrong, there, orange square. Okay, right here, right in the run square. So it wasn't much of an adjustment for me. All it took me is a couple of sessions, and I moved my natural target area slightly to the right. Okay, so these are the things that you need to figure out first and foremost before you can even think about any of the exercises of knife catch. Because if you haven't got these sorted, it's not going to be fun. Because what's going to happen is your implement finally, I have to change again, your implement is finally catching a ring, and then because your throw is bad, it falls out. That's gonna be very frustrating. Talking about experience here, okay? I've been down there, that road. It is very frustrating. You need to sort out your throwing before you get into knife catch. Okay, hope it helps somebody. And then next video, I'm going to talk about working on the offhand on the toss. Okay. Anywho, hope you like the video or learn something from it. And I do apologize because every so often there's a glare in the screen, because I have a couple of cracks on my screen and the frontal camera is just picking those up. That's a slight technical difficulty that I knew something will fix. I don't know. I will help get my IT person to fix it for me. In any way, hope it helped. Thanks for watching. Bye.